God has not paid me in the 14 years of duties. God will not uh, support my identity. During a Catholic war, God will not support my identity. The Freemasons have allowed there to be a war against using the Lord's Prayer to my name. And I have to deal with everything from people from Nebraska or people wanting my identity on the line of insurgents to war. So I have to sue God to the Lord's Prayer. I have to sue him for e pluribus unum. I have to sue him for the internet of my foot. I have to sue him for mass identity theft, for war crimes, to Wall Street, to Ponzi schemes, to Hollywood, to the fact that he wants to be so darn greedy and he don't know who God is. I have to sue him for that too, because the government doesn't know who God is. I have to sue him for that. I have to sue him for war crimes to the Lord's Prayer. And I have to sue him for identity theft, because I have to deal with all these elements that God doesn't do law, apparently, to my name, because there's so much greed and the whole government doesn't know who God is. So I'm not really sure where greed comes in. When I just ask for paychecks and no, he's allowed standards to go lower and lower in my life for the past 14 years, going the opposite direction of philanthropy with my life is wrong. I don't want to be abused by people from Wall Street, Washington, D.C., or anybody else saying they don't take any responsibility, whether it's tort monies to, all these liabilities that the government doesn't serve in law. I'm going to sue him for saucer plots, because I've had to deal with all these elements that nobody wants to support me. Nobody supports my identity. So I have to deal with e pluribus unum, identity theft, because people are after money that they're never going to get to anyway. Anyways, mass amounts of money hanging over insurrection peoples, because the government's greedy and they do not know who God is. I'm going to sue him for war crimes to the Lord's Prayer, Catholic war that he doesn't acknowledge, and Catholic war that he doesn't support my name in the government. I'm talking about in the government. Because these men are so greedy and thoughtless and careless and think they can do whatever they want to the Lord's Prayer, to everything else. They think they can have my identity. They can't have my identity for their wives, and so on and so forth. War crimes. They're war criminals to Wall Street. War criminals by abuses of Hollywood that they weren't supposed to do. War crimes to the Lord's Prayer. I don't really know why I've had to deal with this, but this is for insurrection people. I don't know why I have to deal with such greed. Haven't gotten paychecks in 14 years. I'm going to sue him for war crimes into my children. I'm going to sue him for the radio problems of the United States, from concentration camps to brainwashing to different kinds of psychological warfare, when they've tried to fight me from being a mother for 14 years because Robert's women want my identity, because they're all after greed of money or something. I don't know what it is exactly. They're greed to the Lord's Prayer, e pluribus unum, whatever it is. I'm going to sue them for the MasterCard hijacks that is mass identity theft, for evil idolatry,